Hello everyone, this is PCB, your trusted PCB partner. Today, we will introduce the PCB design tools in KiCad. KiCad software offers a wide range of design tools to assist designers. The PCB design tools are located on both sides of the PCB design interface. Both of these columns are called design tools. Today, we'll start by introducing the design tools on the left side, going from bottom to top. The first tool here is for opening the properties of a component. Right now, we'll just click on the blank area since I haven't selected any component. First, let's select a component. You can see that it displays information such as the component's coordinates, layer, angle, reference designator, value, and so on. If we need to make changes, for example, to the coordinates, we can modify them here. For instance, if we slightly adjust it to 95, you'll see it moves. When we don't need it, we can close it because it takes up space where we're drawing traces. You only need to open it when making adjustments, otherwise just close it. Now let's move it back to its original position. This particular tool here is for showing or effectively hiding the appearance editor on the right hand side, which is this entire column. It prominently displays the current layer and some other essential net settings. It's precisely the same, just click to open or to close it. You can certainly open it during the initial adjustment phase, but be sure to close it when you no longer need it to effectively maximize your available workspace. Next is the tool for toggling between outline and fill mode for traces. What exactly does that mean? I've already drawn a trace in advance. When we click this, the trace switches to outline mode to become wider and hollow. Click it again and it returns to fill mode. I personally prefer using the fill mode. It just looks more comfortable to me. This really depends on your own habits, so you can toggle it as you like. And this one here toggles between fill and outline mode for pads. Let's click it. See, these pads have now switched to outline mode. Click it again, and the pads return to fill mode. This one is for toggling between outline and fill display for copper pores. Here I've placed a copper pore on this area. Click it, and it switches to outline mode. Click it again, and it goes back to fill mode. I recommend using the fill mode. It's clearer and makes it easier to see which pads are connected. Otherwise, it can be hard to tell which pads are linked to the copper pore area. Next, this is a setting for highlighting. First, we need to select a trace, then press the tilde key to highlight it. This way, all related nets will be highlighted. If we turn this off, the highlighting feature is disabled. So we recommend keeping this enabled by default. That way, we can easily see which connections need to be made it clear where everything should be connected. Then cancel the highlight selection. Next, this option is for displaying components on inactive layers. Let's look at the difference. With this enabled, all other inactive layers will appear in a dimmer color, which helps us identify which pads we are currently working on. For example, when we're working on the top layer, the other layers will appear dimmed, not invisible, and only the layer we're working on will stand out. This makes it easier for us to determine which pads we're currently working on and on which layer. This option here is for the flyline connection method, but you can't see it right now because there's another flyline switch above. What is a flyline? Look, these are some fine lines that show the networks you haven't connected yet. This way, you can clearly see which pads are connected and which ones are not. For pads that have already been connected, there won't be any fly line. It's recommended to turn this on as it helps you plan and determine the routing direction when you're drawing the traces. And this here is the style of the fly line, whether it's a straight line or a curved line. I think straight lines are fine because they're clearer. Um, and this here is a quick toggle between a large crosshair and a small crosshair. Personally, I'm used to using the small crosshair, but sometimes, for example, if I want to align this pad with that pad, it's hard to see with the small crosshair. With the large crosshair, I can easily tell whether they're aligned. If I use a small crosshair, it's not as easy to align things. So this is a temporary switch you can use. And these three here are for units. The units mainly show up when setting positions are millimeters and inches. Let's take a quick look. If you bring up the component parameters, you'll see the unit changing here. This is entirely based on regional preferences. Just use whichever unit you prefer. Next, this is the coordinate system. Where does the coordinate system come into play? It shows up down here. For example, right now we've selected changes in XY, so it uses DX and DY. If we click it, it switches to R and angle. Personally, I'm used to using XY, so the default setting is fine. And this one here toggles the display of background points or lines. If you click it, they won't be shown. Personally, I don't like having them hidden. It feels like I'm missing some reference point. Personally, I prefer to keep them visible, as this gives me a basic reference for the approximate size, position, and the placement of components. So today, we've just introduced the toolbar on the left. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel for more content. Thank you, everyone.